Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
Yes, it's Cleveland's longest running podcast and the place to hang with your internet besties. Got questions or comments? The email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy, of course, being spelled with a K.
Stays Crunchy.
You can also give us a call or message us at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Crunchy.
We're available anywhere fine podcasts are, and of course at the website stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And now,
Stays Crunchy.
on with the
Stays
show.
Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy.
Yo,
Stays Crunchy. Stays
where my
Crunchy.
neighbor?
And Milk.
Reach out to my lady today on some I'm about to start taking classes, become a veterinary assistant, and I need the internet, and I want to know, can I borrow y'all internet?
Which neighbor?
The bottom.
I mean,
back.
I know. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm just like, what? This is not a cup of sugar. This is not. Can I park in the driveway for a hot take while I take some groceries in or something like that? There. This is no. It's an utter violation. I was just like, I cannot believe someone would even ask that. What time are we living in?
It was like, y'all, obviously it's popping over here. Like, I'm getting a strong signal. Can I have some of it?
Bruh, I think that was the wildest thing I've ever had happen. And I've had this neighbor make some wild requests before. Like, very recently they got a turtle from somewhere and needed help carrying their goddamn tank to their house. And I'm like, why don't you have any of these men who live in your house with you do it? Oh, they ain't here right now. They at work or they whatever. It's like,
well, I'm allergic to turtles, so you got to do it yourself.
I try to be a good neighbor as best I can, but again, that one is just so out of pocket that I'm just astounded by it even being asked.
I feel like I've changed my theories on what a good neighbor is.
Do tell.
Over the years, like growing up, we had incredible neighbors. Like years ago about my neighbor, Buddy, God rest his soul. Like he was.
I didn't realize Buddy had gone on to glory. R.I.P. Buddy.
Oh yeah, Buddy passed away like right before we moved. Like maybe like a couple months before we moved. And like from like we moved in our the house I grew up in. We moved in our house when I was 2 years old, and but we didn't even realize that we gave him the nickname Buddy. Like, my brother gave him the nickname Buddy. My mother was like, "What did he say his name was?" I think he said his name was Buddy, and it was just on from there. And then like after that, everybody called him Buddy. And like some people called him his real name, but everybody called him Buddy after we started calling him Buddy. And he was just like, if like we dropped the necktie on the way to school, it was washed and cleaned by the time we got home and on our doorknob. Like something happened, I watch out for it. He was just an incredible neighbor, man. And like there are other neighbors, they were good, not as incredible, but good people. Like almost all the way down like the street, it was just like it was a neighborhood feel. And something happened or something go on, we talk about it, we fix it, and it was great. Now here it's just like I remember foolishly thinking like one of the first days we moved at the house I'm currently at, I'm like, hey, I need a hammer. I just don't have a hammer on me. Let me go next door and see if the neighbor let me borrow a hammer. Went there. They're clearly home. Their cars are out. They got a camera at the door. I'm knocking on the door, ring the doorbell. Nobody ever comes out. Like up until this very summer, it was the first time we've ever had a conversation with those people.
Holy
just
shit.
like just the other day. and like they gave it just like, hey, we see y'all here sitting, which we weren't really sitting like that. I was doing something in the like Anthony had fell or something like that, and he was sitting in the chair. And they were like, oh, and they gave us like a folding chair, and I was just like, man, we have far too many folding chairs. I don't need this. And then my partner was like, don't be like that. Give me that chair. So she took it. I was just like, we definitely don't need the chair. And our other neighbor has this like the same birthday as Emery, so but she only talks to me, which is weird. So and like one of our neighbors across the street is just like, she's nice, but the cops are always at her house. Like it'll be like just some weird shit. Like the cops are just at her house. And not even just the cops, it'd be fucking sheriffs. And they usually come to serve something.
Yeah.
And I'm like she drives a different car like every couple weeks. Like it's always something going on.
She might be out there doing some things, is what you say.
Yeah, is then like the other our other neighbor, like our only really cool neighbor, is just a cool guy, but it ain't enough. So I guess when it comes down to my theories, it's like I can't expect all my neighbors to be like Buddy was, like incredible neighbors. Yeah. Like our neighbors don't fuck with us or nothing like that, or do nothing really mean. They just neighbors. So I guess I have to have that expectation, like going forward. It's like they don't fuck with y'all, and like in a bad way. They don't, Oh yeah, this is kind of funny. This one last thing. I guess I need to finish my point though first, because I am scatterbrained. Like, just being a neighbor is just good enough. Like, not overreaching into their yard, so to speak, to give it a simile is the thing. Like, keep your shit together, and then just the rest fall into place. But what was funny was I had cut the grass a few months back, like one of the first times I cut the grass, and they were like no sticks and stuff in our yard.
Yeah.
Enough for, I cut the grass, I would have fucking ran over them or something. And then like we were in the backyard. It might have been that same day we got that chair, because I don't remember my partner being in the backyard no other time. So it was a lot of sticks in the yard. And I'm like, those must have just fell out of the tree or something like that. She was just like, well, they probably would have fell out before now. I think the lady next door was cleaning out her yard and just threw sticks into our yard, like tree limbs into our yard. I was like, that might be the case. It might be. She's always in her backyard and we're never in ours. So yeah. I thought that was pretty funny too.
Bruh. Like I said, my neighbors on either side and direct across the street have been my same neighbors since I got here. Mm-hmm. And my neighbor to what I'm saying, basically who babysit my kids, like just today. I mean, I'm gonna get somewhere else with this, but literally just today. I hadn't seen it for a little bit. I step outside today in my drawers and a shirt, but I mean, it's boxers, so they kind of long, they kind of work. But I still don't want to be outside in my drawers. I just want to dip over, check the mailbox right quick. But just as I get out on that porch, I looked right. Mm-hmm. And my neighbor wasn't there because they done retired finally, so they always on their porch. And I'm like, so I always feel like I need to say hey. But then I looked left and I didn't see nobody. I was like, all right, so I'm good. And step outside, I go out there, and then like as soon as I get outside, he come outside his porch, and then he, how you been, man? I'm like, all right, I hadn't seen him. I actually did want to chop it up with him, and then his wife came out and hadn't seen her for a little bit, and she been sick. And so I was like, it was actually very good to see him. But here I'm standing outside, like I said, in my drawers and a shirt. I'm just like feeling like, God damn it. But that's my man's. Mows my lawn. Shovels my sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? And shovels a path down the driveway so the neighbors don't have to have, slipping and sliding back to their back portion of the spot and stuff. So it's like, good folk. The neighbors on my right, we say hey, but no kind of relationship, no kind of anything. The neighbors across the street bring me vegetables in the summer when after everything sprouts and so forth and so on. And we'll chop it up every now and again, but known races.
Oh,
just the hard R. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why are y'all lightweight cool with me? But also, I know y'all racist. You know what I'm saying? So it's like but because it's what it is racists don't ever know they racist. They were like, I'm not racist. I got a black friend right there. It's probably what they mind is thinking. But I'm like, well, brother, but you be bandying about the hard R, and we know it. So I mean,
they probably just Creole.
so that's it's like first I moved in this house, neighbor next door, the one who watched my kids, brought me, and she didn't know no better. Whipped up a roast and brought me some beef over. You know what I'm saying, a whole platter. It was like right after you left, because if y'all don't know, Esma, like, one of us friends, so of course he helped me move in this bitch. It was like right after he left, all of a sudden they came through with food, and it was just like, we just want to, work into the neighborhood and blah blah. I'm like, they didn't know nobody in that house ate red meat, but it was the thought that counted.
So what did you guys do? What'd you do with the roast? Did you kindly refuse?
I think we kindly refused and just was like, and just explained, thank you so much. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't eat red meat. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it was. But we was riders ever since. And even to this day, I get Christmas cookies. They'll make up a whole bucket of Christmas cookies. Comes to my house every year. The kids will go over there every now and again, even now as they've gotten just way older, and help them make pierogies, and they'll hang out and make pierogies in their kitchen and so forth. It's just a buddy style situation, a kind neighbor who even though what was Ken talking about today? How teachers should be able to whoop a kid's ass. Because I was explaining how my youngest wants to be a teacher. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you want to get in the teacher, man. Kids are so disrespectful these days. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because you can't whoop their ass no more. And I'm just like, I'm telling you right now, Ken, if some teacher laid their hand on my child, it's gonna be a problem. and he just was like, he just could not. In his mind, that is just no. And I'm like, I used to get patterned at school. I came up in that time. No. So it's just a wild situation there. So it's like a good neighbor in the good neighbor, ideal of a good neighbor, but also he definitely voted for Trump. I'm telling you right now. So it's like it's a wild situation with that one right there. I cannot call it. But again, what he never, you know what? But here's another flip. I have let them use my internet before.
Oh. Yeah, but even a heart of gold can be tarnished. So I understand. Like it's they want the best when it come to you, but not for the world necessarily.
For sure. But like I said, for them, I forgot what it was. There was something going on, and they needed access, probably to set up their internet or something like it going forward or whatever it was. And so they're like, I use your internet just for like X amount of days or whatever like that. And I'm like, yeah, you good. You know what it is. Here's the password. It should be, decent. I got a pretty good router. And there you go. Didn't care. It was cool. But this one in the back, hell no. I don't even know you. It's like, I do know you because you've been here forever. So I guess I know your name. I know you have kids and so forth and grandkids. I know of you, but I don't know you like that. And I know what they was going to be doing on the internet. And plus my kids is like over there. So they they could be over there like using their Game Boys and DSs at the time or whatever. And, watching Netflix or whatever. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like a situation where I'm like, yeah, this works for everybody involved.
Yeah.
But that seemed wild sketch. I don't know. I know one of the dudes who stay back there, but I, again, don't know him. I just know his name. You know what I'm saying? I know he enjoys the weed and is a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I don't know him. But like, y'all could be back there, child pornography in, and I know that's probably not likely, but it's possible. And on my internet backbone, no, sir. So that's a decline. And so, listener, as you hear this, and if you think you need to answer this question, I would ask you, what I'm saying, you letting your neighbor just borrow your internet? You letting your neighbor borrow a cup of sugar in 2024?
I mean, I got weird sugars at the house, so they probably like, why this shit brown, but not sticky?
It's turbinado sugar. You'll love it. Try it. Box, what has your neighbor situation been like? You know what I'm saying? You've been solid up now where you stayed for a while, but have you had a neighbor that's like that was a good rapport with, or have your neighbors been like problematic in any way?
So the kind of diagonal to me is empty right now, I think. Oh no, there's some older lady lives there. She barely comes out of her house. Directly across the street, there's a family that lives there. The only problem I've had with them is the son hit somebody's car that was visiting someone at my house, but that's not really my problem. That was more their problem. The lady diagonally across the street the other way, just another single old lady that lives by herself. Neighbors on my left are a retired older couple. And then the people on my right, that house, there was an older couple that lived there when I moved in, but they've both since passed away. And the daughter of them lives there with her daughter right now, and that house is like it's definitely the worst of all the ones around me. Like they're the ones with the car caught on fire in the driveway and like melted the aluminum, the siding, and they still haven't replaced it. She's the one where the tree fell on my garage. They don't really take care of the yard. Yeah, that house is the wreck. Now, granted, they don't really do anything to me or anything, but that's definitely the shit show house.
It's always deer in that backyard too. Every time I've been over your house, like it's always
Shit,
deer
they're in my
snacking on.
backyard all the time.
Yeah, but they be in there nested up. Yours is just like, hey man, I'm passing through, baby.
Well, because it's like a forest back there, man. They can hide
Yeah.
back there and like not be found for weeks at a time.
Oh my gosh! I just
Did y'all hear about one of ours got hit by T's car? We gonna ride on that nigga.
I was just simply so taken aback by this. I was like, I got to talk to the fellas about this because this that just seemed wild to me. And if it's, I didn't know if it was so wild, so I thought I'd ask y'all your thoughts on the matter. So
I think on the scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 4. It ain't that wild. Like I think she explained it well enough. It's like I'm trying to go back to school, but like if she ain't offering no money or being like, hey, it's gonna be only this time frame or something like that, you know that's makes it worse. But like when you ask somebody something, no matter what, like how is it beneficial for both of us? This is only beneficial for you.
yeah,
Like if you were saying like, hey, you know what? I'll bring you. I know the people across the street bring you 2 kinds of vegetables. I'm gonna bring you 4.
oddly enough, the people across the street are her sister and brother-in-law.
Oh,
So she got
The one with the kid who was stealing out of your car?
No, that's my man down the way. But yeah, he still live here. He still live around here, and I see him pop up every now and again. I'm like, turkey.
I was on your street the other day, and I saw some cutie walking a dog. But that's the problem with getting older is you can't tell how old anyone is anymore. I'm pretty sure they were in their 20s, but you know,
Which means they definitely was in their like 30s.
Yeah, just gotta be careful. Can't be out here, doctor disrespecting it.
It's a wild boy. It's a wild boy.
I use that as an adjective now, or as a verb all the time now.
He could be doctor disrespected in my streets, man. No, none of that. Oh my gosh! All right, y'all. Let's get to a show and we'll go from there. 8 Ball will come out hard with the gangster lean. Gold smile for the women that be jocking the green. I'm a Pimpster, not a trick on the stroll. You gotta pimp that thing and keep a trick on hold. Stay on top of the world with a gun in your hand. Take control of a woman and fear no man. It'd be hard for me to see a day without cash. If you got it and I don't, I'll blast your ass with the quickness because a pimp don't play. I got to work on my game and think of ways to get paid. Born in the mound down deep in the south with the brothers with the curls and gold teeth in their mouth. In the Chevrolet and Palace with the Kragers and Vogues. 4 deep with the yak smoking Fat Mac Endo. Fall up in the club with the pimp's baton. Got a tech in my pants, just step to me and it's on. Got a family in Memphis and a gang in Texas. T-Money in the Jag and JB in the Lexus. Flex this pimp type smile in the studio, or I'm coming out hard. That song goes so good. That song is from '93. I want you to know you can play it right now. 8-Ball MJG coming out hard off the album Coming Out Hard. They sample Simply Red's Holding Back the Years. Chef's kiss. Absolutely exquisite. But hey, welcome to it. It's episode 543. But let's give it up for 2 and 1 as well. I'm your host, Dennis Taylor 713. Join us all with my best friends. The 216's on. It's Tatum.
I was astonished a little bit ago to realize that My Mind Playing Tricks on Me came out in 1981. And what also astonished me is that
81?
1991.
Oh, I was like, wow. Yeah.
And the fact that I knew the dirty version and the clean version. And I remember on my way home from school thinking of a clean version I could sing out loud. And then the clean version came out.
I listened to many a song today trying to find my lyrics. And one of them was going to be Scarface. I started Small Time Dope Gang Cocaine. And there's one version of Ghetto Boys album that has, 4 mugshots of the Ghetto Boys on it. And that version has the same song Scarface on it, but it's slightly tweaked lyrics. And I'm like, it's not a clean version, it's just tweaked lyrics. And so then I went to the one I know, which is it's like a black background with a little red it's a Rap logo or some other logo, whatever. And it's still saying it's Scarface, still saying same song. I started Small Time Dope Gang Cocaine, pushing rocks on the block. I'm never broke, man. Sporting jewelry and the shit that came with rolling hard. You try to screw me, you'll get served with no regard. But on the one with the black and white picture, it says, you try to screw me, you'll get fucked up with no regard. And I was like, that ain't right. It don't even sound right. It doesn't even feel right coming off my mouth. And so I was peeking around looking at that. And then, of course, it was far too many songs that I was considering doing. I was like, oh, y'all just dropped an F-bomb casually in the middle of this song, and I can do nothing with it. So there's a track from back in the day that simply can't get no burn here in 2024. I mean, you can play it and enjoy it, I guess, as it is. It turns out the stories that was making the rounds on the internet the other day was that people was like, you know why you can listen to R. Kelly without any compunction? It's because the royalties from his music for at least I think up to like $500,000 goes to his victims. And he's like, people was like, oh shit, I can finally step in the name of love once again. And I was like, for me, it would be, of course, Gotham City Remix, as you know. But
yeah, it was funny. I haven't really recorded with you guys in a very long time. It was like been off and on. And one of my subjects that I dropped because it had been so long and I didn't want to talk about Puff. No, I didn't want to talk about Puff. Is the fact that, and I actually did this for the very last time. I said I'm going to listen to I Can't Sleep Baby remix, which is R. Kelly and Puff. That video was, I love the video, I love the song, and I listened to it a couple times, and I was just like, all right, it's out of my system. I gotta listen to it no more.
I know I shouldn't love it like I do, but man, the Chocolate Factory is a good ass album. It's got so many hits, and if it ain't hits for real, it's hits to me. And man,
oh boy, got a couple classics. The
Blue album
remix
that came after what was it? It's R. Kelly and Public Announcement, the first album, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one was just R. Kelly. And that
Just
one right there
R.
with the blue album with it got big rapping on the shit. Also kind of my shit. That's like one of the first things me and the kids' mom like bonded over because I had that shit on CD and she had it on CD. It was like, the fuck? Spider-Man pointing to Spider-Man. But what song you saying? The Fiesta remix? Fiesta.
Oh,
Fiesta. What's from the Midwest? Tell me where that remix. I can't seem to pull that one out of my head.
I think it was first it was Jay-Z. After the show, it's the after party, and after the party, it's the hotel lobby, and after the original, it's yeah. I don't remember because I haven't listened to it in so long, but that's the Fiesta remix.
Yeah,
it's a great song.
Yeah.
I think that's part of that makes us even better people, knowing it's great and still being like, you know what? I'm backing off. I'm backing away from it.
I just saw in my email the other day they're doing a 30th anniversary re-release of Ready to Die, and it looked kind of cool. I'm like, that's kind of nice. You know, it's got different colorway vinyl stuff like that, and I'm just like, can't do it. I can't be doing nothing that's gonna support that dude, man. And plus, I already own Ready to Die. I mean, whatever. It's not like it feels like a faux cot. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel real. But I cannot do. And I don't know. I don't fuck with Mr. Combs. So
yeah, like when a friend of mine came to visit, it was fun. Like my friend, he moved out of town, and the place that we met is the record exchange. So like we talk about shoes and stuff a lot, but like music and movies is always a thing. And he was just like, we stopped at a Goodwill that had opened up since he's been going, and they just had this like big old bin of DVDs and CDs, and we were just going through them. And he was like, "Man, I gotta ask you, man, how you feel about it? How you feel about what happened with you know who?" And I'm like, probably one of the worst. No, not one of the worst. The worst like celebrity thing I've ever seen.
I didn't see it. I am aware of it. I didn't want to see it.
I mean, I seen it because like I'm not on Twitter a lot, but Twitter don't hide shit. Like it'll be you be scrolling and then you see it and it was just like I couldn't fucking believe it. Like because I'm such my world purview at this time at this frame in life is like if it's not like a restoration video or watching the dude sharpen up a knife real good or like you know watching some baking stuff or like watching something with somebody else in my family. Like I don't really watch the news that much. Like stuff about hurricanes, I don't know. Like it's just not my purview at this moment.
Yeah.
So when I seen it, it was just like, or better yet, like the stuff that was happening beforehand. Like everybody was like, because I've heard like Rod was like, you know, everything was in like the court docs. I'm like, I didn't read any court docs. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
So that shit was a shock, and it was just like, you know. It was like hearing like your favorite soda's being discontinued. It's like, man, I was drinking that shit yesterday.
Oh man, just tis what it is, man. I know. I normally I guess I give you the listeners a quick little run of show. I'm not doing any news this week. It's just not in a newsy place. Oddly enough, we're just talking about that. Just ain't nothing I want to talk about. Really popping right now, so it all to the good. But you know, you'll get some of the assholes here in a little bit, and Box will have some tales from their lives if they care to share. And we'll give you all our entertainment. It'll be a delight. Worry not. Why is Deshaun Watson trending? I just want to go peek right quick.
Is he sporadically coming again? Like, what's it called? What's it called again when a snake just be popping out? What is that? A snake charm? Snake charm coming again?
This person, so I just clicked on the trending topic and then I clicked on the latest, and let's just go down a few of them. Friendly reminder: Deshaun Watson was 5-1 in games played last year. Okay, thank you. I wish my wife was a masseuse so she could have Deshaun Watson as a client. Oh, okay. Don't know what to do with that. Deshaun Watson is tops this list. He's a piece of shit. Okay. Man, I can't wait until Deshaun Watson throws 4,800 yards and 40 plus touchdowns and like 8 picks. All this disrespect got to stop. You got dreams. That's okay. Browns 53-man prediction, roster prediction, unveiling one player every day until the roster deadline. QB Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston, DCR, running back Nick Chubb, depending on injury. Jerome, okay, he really is just doing that. That's what this person is doing. Okay. Okay. I don't know why he's traded. Maybe because it's like a local thing. Maybe that's just what it is. We'll just leave that one be. Serena and Cordell. What is that? Love Island, apparently. Love Island, USA. All right. Well, that's what's popping on Twitter right now, y'all. Again, I'm not really not really doing any news. I just happened to click over there because Ant had said Twitter. I was like, have I looked on Twitter for a bit here? But first up, as always, is Tatum. Ant, man, what the hell's going on, bro?
Man, so much stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, my life is, it be life and hard. Like, I got, I know I spoke briefly of it. Got a baby on the way. We've kind of picked a name that we call. This experience has been different than all the other ones because, like, I already have 2 kids, and when I had one kid and had one kid on the way, like it was just like, hey man, you gonna have a brother, okay? And it was just like it wasn't really nothing to it. Then I had 2, and they're like fully functional people who have like their own shit going on, and like it's very different this time. It's like I think when they found out they were having a brother, one of them cried, like another one was just like, fuck that, I wanted a sister. So that was a pretty funny situation. Like, you know, one of your kids actually crying because they're not having what they want, but they ain't got shit to do with them. And like, but other than that, like as far as like with the boys, it's been pretty good. It's like they're excited, but I keep on trying to like I tell my oldest son this all the time because like he's the oldest, and I want to be like, hey man, this is going to be your brother. It's not a situation where you're going to have to do a lot of things. I doubt that you're going to change diapers. I might ask you to get one, but I'm not going to ask you to do anything like that. And like you know, you can just get that thought out of your head. It's not going to be like that. I mean, because like first of all, our job give us a lot of time off for kids. Second, I already work from home. Third, I'm not a beer and football dad. You know, I'm pretty active and stuff like that. So I'm like, don't ever think that you're gonna have to be like overdoing stuff for your brother. I mean, y'all still don't do a lot of stuff for yourself now, so yeah, that'll be okay. But like I said, this experience is like it's a little bit different. Like and it's the same too. Like I've been to almost every doctor's appointment. I've only missed the last few because I'm home with the boys.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be different, but I don't know if it's really gonna be that different. Like I said, you know, for the most part, it's like how a day usually goes here is like the boys get up, you know, they usually sleep a little bit past the time we're going to work, which we both work from home. They come down. I work downstairs, mom works upstairs, and like they'll come to us, and they have to do assignments and stuff before they can watch TV or have a Kindle. So they got to do work in a workbook, and they got to read for an hour every day. Sometimes they get away with it, sometimes they don't. Depends on how busy we are and stuff. But like, you know, there's so many different places they can go and do things like throughout the house. Like they can be on the computer upstairs, or they can be playing PlayStation down here, or reading a book down here, or sometimes we let them go into our room and they be doing stuff there. So it's probably not, perfect, but it works for us for now. So, um, like I said, it's just been like life on autopilot, pretty much. Like just doing stuff here and there. Like, I don't know if I talked about going to Great Wolf Lodge for my youngest son's
You have not.
birthday.
You have not,
Oh,
because he was gone that week because you was at Great Wolf Lodge, which
yeah.
I didn't tell nobody. I said you was out of town.
Okay. So yeah, we went to Great Wolf Lodge, which was an experience because like for years now, like, they were like, hey, like their mom was like, we should take them to Kalahari. We should go to Great Wolf Lodge. And I'm like, yes, we can do that. But let's get some swimming lessons behind it, done first. And like my oldest son has been taking swimming lessons since he was little, like off and on. And so has his brother. They'll like we'll go to one of the national chains here, and they'll do their swimming. And I think I spoke about how
Yeah, how your youngest got him a little swim training biddy that he love.
he likes it, but he also threw up in the pool for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But so we went to Great Wolf Lodge, and it was fun as hell. It wasn't what I expected because, like, man, I can just say, like, the life that my partner helps provide for the children, that we provide for the children, isn't the life I had growing up. It's not. Like, just the fact that, like, maybe once or twice, sometimes twice a week, every once in a while, like, picking up dinner somewhere. Like, we didn't do that shit. Like, we ate spaghetti till the spaghetti was gone, and it wasn't like we were poor. Like, that's just what we did. Like,
Yeah.
I thought Applebee's was a fancy restaurant until I finally went there as an adult. Because like the first woman I ever took out, I insisted that we go to Applebee's. I'm like, we going to Applebee's, woman. All right, I'm getting in the passenger seat because I don't have my license yet. So, yeah, like, or going to swim lessons, or playing little league baseball, or playing soccer, like all the different stuff that they've done, like, they have a leg up on what I grew up on, and that's all I can ask for sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't make a ton of money, but like when I had the opportunity to be like, hey, yeah, you could take little gym classes. Fuck it. Like, go ahead. I got the money. Like, I have at least some of it. So let's do this shit. Or like going to the park when I get off work. Just going to the park. And then when we go to the park, sometimes having money to be like, yeah, you can have a hot dog from that from this baseball game that we not even attending. So Great Wolf Lodge was nice. It was a room that was like not only geared towards the adults but geared towards the kids, because they had like this fucking cave with the with bunk beds in it, and the kids was like, hell yeah. And then like actually going there was like just people all around, and people seem to be pretty nice for the most part, except these one group of girls that kept on trying to dunk Anthony Said in the water. And it was funny that this girl these three girls was jumping him like, wait. And see, my partner disagreed with me with this, but like I was like, I'm not gonna just be like, because obviously their parents aren't watching them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey man, chill out bullying my kid. And I had to say that to another kid. And then my partner was like, don't do that. I'm like, first of all, their parents aren't watching them. Their parents are just letting these kids just do shit. And like, I'm not a hovering parent. I let you guys do. I think the if I can quote it warmly, I let my kids do dangerous things safely. Like, You know, I'm not hovering or like it's either I'm watching from a safe distance or I'm right there with them having fun. So like I don't want them to be bullied. Like I want them to have a good time all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
So and it was
Plus, you
like this.
motherfucking stranger. Don't be running about my kid. The fuck. Anyway.
So
Yeah, I would never. So yeah, I'm on your side. I'm sorry.
so it was like I said, it was a really good time. Like we were there for like 3 days. The first day we went there, like, you know, pretty much undressed, jumped in the pool, or not really. It's not really a pool. It's lots of things to do.
I actually like their pool, the outside pool. You know what I'm saying? It's actually it's a pretty substantial size pool.
But it's
You
not
can
deep.
you just kind of sit out there and just vibe. So I do like their pool situation.
Yeah, like I don't think that pool was open up until the day we left. Which was I think because I think it was raining a couple of days,
Yeah.
and like yeah, we like they got on slides. My youngest son, who don't really mess with heights and stuff like that, even he got on almost all the slides except the one that goes from like outside to inside. He didn't get on that one. But like we, you know, we did the lazy river. We did pretty much everything there. And then of course, you know, you do the hard shit. Hey, what everybody gonna eat for dinner when we not at home and have to pick different restaurants and stuff like that.
Did y'all
Of
not
course,
just eat there? They got decent food. It's a little. I feel like it's
it's
lightweight kind of pricey.
oh, it's shit. It was very pricey.
Yeah.
I looked at the price. I'm like, man, fuck that. I can just walk across the street to Raising Cane's.
It's a Fazoli. You know Fazoli's is right there.
Oh, we went to Fazoli's. Got way too many breadsticks.
Never. You know, I still got one bag left downstairs from that last time I went.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I go out to Canton sometimes, and while I'm in Canton, I'll stop at that Fazoli's there. Um, Stop at Fazoli's, get breadsticks, and then go over to Bojangles and get some chicken strips. Because that Bojangles in Canton doesn't have bone-in chicken.
Okay.
But yeah, well, of course we got Fazoli's. My partner wanted to go to this pancake house they went that they have there, and man, if we don't ever go to that place for the rest of my life, it'll be too soon. Like, I mean, I don't eat super healthy, but for the most part, it's like if I'm going out to eat, I always get a salad. I always try to like have my meals like a vegetable and a protein. Like unless it's like a spectacular place, I usually skip the starches. But so I get this blueberry pancakes. It was supposed to be a blueberry muffin top pancake. I'm like, okay, some fresh fruit, because I'll get some with some apples in it or something. But I get it, man. It is like the most Captain Crunch pancake I ever seen in my fucking life. It is like this bright blue syrup on it, and I'm like, this isn't blueberries, and it tastes so bad. I mean, like the blue, you can taste the blue so fucking like it was just so terrible. And I was just like, this is this is so bad. And I be feeling bad because I know this is a restaurant that she picked, and I'm trying not to be negative, but that shit was terrible. It was so bad. And I'm like, this isn't fresh at all. Like, there's no fresh elements to this. And it's just making me sick. I like at least not make her feel bad. Just eat enough where it can look like you ate some, and then just leave it alone. And then I think
I was gonna say I had that very same. We were talking about before we started recording how I went to Kintaro with my little sister-in-law's birthday, and I don't eat a ton of sushi. I'm not super into sushi, but I you know, I'm not a big fan of seaweed. It make my tummy hurt. But the thing with Kintaro is, you know, you go there for a certain time. It's all you can eat for a relatively a pittance. Actually, it's like $18. And so I get this sushi, and I'm like, the ones I'm like, all right, I can finish these off. I can just dip these in the sauce, and I can make it work. But then Lee was like, I'm not fucking with what I ordered at all. And in fact, I'm not going fucking. I'm like,
no.
if it's too much food, because what basically the rules, if it's too much left over, then they'll charge you like a fee But
Yeah.
it becomes takeaway at that point. Then you can get how much you won't take it home, which was actually kind of dope if you wanted to. But I was like, I'm a Vanessa's family. I'm not trying to embarrass her and so on and so on. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to have to suck it up and make this shit go down. So I ate these rolls that I did not appreciate in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
As it turned out, that is actually what I had ordered, and I had eaten what Lee had ordered, and we didn't know no better. So as it turns out, it was my food anyway, and it was gross.
You didn't like your
No, it
food.
wasn't gross. It wasn't gross. It was not for me, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas what you saying, what you ate was gross, and
Yeah.
that's a difference. And so like I said, I made it happen. I got it down, and we're grateful for it. Their tempura was not to my liking either; just a little too heavy, oily, but whatever. So I'm happy. I happen to have had a similar food experience recently myself, where I was just like, all right, let me just make it happen for my lady, and that way it can never be said I did not.
Yeah, because when I think of a blueberry muffin top pancake, I'm thinking like blueberries, maybe some streusel.
Yes,
It was like electric blue and white. Like
it was some blueberry pancakes with some blue syrup, and that's
yeah,
gross.
yeah, it wasn't good. And like I said, all you tasted was blue.
What pancake facility is this?
I guess the Sandusky Pancake House.
I'm
Like
not hip to
right.
it.
It's like right across the in the same parking lot as Meyer and like and Fazol. It's like all up in that strip over there.
Is Steak and Shake still there? Maybe it took over Steak and Shake.
Steak and shake. No. I think Steak and Shake is somewhere around there, but I think
because it used to be right there in that parking lot up front. So if it's
I think Steak and Shake is still there, or if something took over for it, it was something else because that place been there for a while. But yeah, and I had ordered some like some hash browns, well done, and they came out pretty light. And I was like, you know what? I don't want these. Can I just get some the other potatoes you got? She's like, sure. And them shits took forever because some saltiness would have definitely helped with that sweet as you trying to eat, both of them. And my shit never came. I was like, you can just take it off the bill. It was just like that place was just not working for me. Like, sometimes it just pays just to have chicken fingers and fries on your menu and just please everybody. Because like, I mean, most places like I just wanted something fresh to eat. I didn't want anything like too boxy. Like I don't mind spending the money if it's something good, but that wasn't the place.
yeah.
But then we were there. Like I said, we were there for a couple of days. Like the last day, like we stayed at the pool. Like I said, they finally opened up the outside pool. We were there for a couple hours. We gathered up our stuff and drove on home. But yeah, Emery had a good birthday. I got him some toys he liked. I think I got a toy that Dan would approve of. I got him a Rillaboom toy from Pokemon. That was one of the things he actually took on vacation with him.
You got him a what?
A Rillaboom toy action figure.
I want to know what this Pokemon looked like. Rillaboom.
I'm looking it up now.
Oh, that's a cool looking Pokemon.
Yeah, I'll send the exact one because it was like put it in the old Chatteroony.
Well, here I'm gonna just share the screen so you can definitely see young Rillaboom here.
Yeah. Because
Oh shit.
And yeah, this is the action.
Yeah, it's in the newer gen. I'm not familiar with his game.
Yeah, I want to know what generation this Pokemon is.
Yeah, they had this at the Red Dot Inn, and it was lower than the price that's marked there. And I did like it's huge too. Nice, it's pretty big, and I'm like, just like when we were at Trader Joe's when we were in Chicago, and I seen them big ass bottles of wine. I'm like, even just the sheer volume and look at this makes it look like a nice gift.
That is a Gen 8 Pokemon, Daniel.
Yeah, I saw the 800 something on the Pokedex number. That's when I knew that I didn't know, because I don't know like most of the new stuff. If it's not in Pokemon Go yet, I have it like I don't know.
He plays that drum. That's cool. That's a cool Pokemon. I fuck with that always.
Yeah, like I said, that was one of the ones that he took on vacation with him, and
Either of the boys play Pokemon?
like the game,
Yeah.
nah, they don't play that. Like I thought about buying them like Pokemon on the Switch, but it's like they like the Switch, but they like playing on the PlayStation more. And like it's been like 3 or 4 games I haven't bought because like they don't play the Switch enough. I'm like, man, there's some cool games like that. The Peach game, that one sports game that you got. Well, it's not out yet, right?
Which one?
I forgot the name of the game from like with the old NES cartridge with it.
No, yeah, come out next week. I just got my email from Best Buy saying we are preparing your pre-order. So, yeah.
So yeah, they don't really play the Switch that much, and like depends on how things go in the next couple months. Like I was thinking, like maybe getting Spud a Xbox.
Okay.
Because like he's getting to the point where it ain't really gonna be too many more toys, and I told them like, hey man, the new baby might get some Imaginext, but this is the last Imaginext toy y'all ever get right here. Because
you signed for the Imaginext game?
Yeah, I mean, so
you gonna start hitting them with you got Imaginext money?
I mean, for my Emery's birthday, he asked my mom specifically to give him $21 for his birthday, so he got Imaginext money.
Like you got the bread, sir. So if you want to buy it yourself, there you go. That's what's up.
I mean, anytime he buys something, it's gonna be a sword. Like all the time, it's like some kind of sword. He always going to buy it. That is his thing. He likes pulling out.
Should you get him into fencing at some point? So maybe he can learn the art. You know.
I don't know. Maybe I'll ask him when I go upstairs. I'm like, hey man, you want a fence? And he'll be like, man, I already got a plug. I don't need not that kind of fencing, man. You don't need a plug. So yeah, and then like I got him a couple other things, and like we always have a tradition like that my mother told me about when I was little, where it's like everybody get a present on your birthday. It's just not, you don't want to be looking sad in the corner like, oh, you.
Sir, did you listen to the last episode we did with Chaffee?
I didn't. Not yet.
On that episode was an Emma the asshole, where this person, this woman, is married to a guy who he has a daughter, so she has a stepchild.
Mm-hmm.
That child's mother also is remarried, and they were both having kids basically at the same time. On her mama's side, they gave her big sister presents, and they gave her basically they gave after the birth, I think, is when this occurred. I'm saying basically like, hey, your congratulations, your big sister. Here's a couple of gifts for you for becoming a big sister. And that's how the family. And then she was like, I don't do that shit. Fuck that. And her side of the family was like, you ain't gonna get her no big sister gift. And like, nah, I ain't doing that shit. And Chaffee and Dan was like, yeah, fuck them kids. never can get a present. And I feel like had you been there, you would have been like, yeah, it's okay to get a. And I was like, I think Aunt got his kids, big brother gifts or a big brother gift when his youngest arrived, and we'll do probably the same because he gets to be a big brother now. You know what I'm saying? So of course,
I have gone so far as like I know. Like my partner's like, hey, you got to slow down that shit. And I'm like, I don't use, and I'm not that type of person. But that's the one thing I ignore her about. Like, I'm not going to stop giving. Like, I'm only going to be. I mean, shit. It might even be a little bit selfish. Like, I'm only going to be here for so long, and I'm going to make sure like my kids feel special, and or like don't feel ignored, because like it was so many times it was just like. I'll tell the story real quick. I remember when we were little, we were going to back to school shopping, and on Miles, when you're going up Miles, when you're going to Randall Mall, or which used to be Randall Mall, it was a Value City there.
Yeah.
So we used to, we going school shopping, and we passed by the Value City first. And Mom was like, "Well, we'll stop here first before we go to the mall. Maybe we'll see something here." And I'm not thinking like I'm thinking this. I don't remember if I was thinking, this is gonna be our last stop or whatever. But I got a fountain pair of shoes that I was like, oh, I'll take these from Value City. My brother says nothing and like keeps it mum to itself. He goes to the mall and gets the brand new fucking Barclays. I am like over the moon mad. Like, I'm over here getting Value City specials, and you couldn't be like, "Hey, bro, we still going to the mall. Act like you don't want nothing here." Like, look out for who's around you, man. Like, just because it's like not your special day, don't mean everybody like it don't, and it don't even got to be on the same on the same level as what Emery got, because Emery got like a automated Batman. He got a King Kong toy, which he fucks with King Kong versus Godzilla. We've watched it like 2 or 3 times, and then he got the Rillaboom. I got Anthony like a Halo set of toys, some headphones, and something else. But the thing is, it's like, I mean, it doesn't take much to try to be fair to everybody.
With you, I'm. Right.
Oh, and my partner gets a gift too, because she did the hard work.
And it's like I try to, when I remember, to be like, hey man, congratulations to you, the parent, on the anniversary of you becoming a parent for the first time, the second time, whatever time. You know what I'm saying? I always try to shout out my folk, on their children's birthdays when I remember. But that's just so wild to me, my guy. That's just what I'm saying. And so, like I said, I wish. It's not that I wish. Whatever. I just, like I said, Choppy Dad was like, nah, kids get too many gifts and fuck them. It's too much.
You know what? It's like when I go to the store, like, I don't say completely fuck them, because I remember how that felt going to the store. Like, man, I don't care if you spending stamps or not. Get me something I like. But like, I remember for the longest time, I was like, y'all can at least get a Hot Wheels. If y'all don't get something else, y'all can at least get a Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Because I know how I feel to be like, just like, man, I could just sit in the car if you're just gonna do this shit. Like, if you're not doing, you don't have to, or like some parents won't even like take the kids down the toy aisle, because if I don't buy, you know what I do? I'll scan it and put it in my cart for later, for a time when it's more appropriate to buy it for you. Like, you telling me what you like, but like, I'm one of those parents, I know what my kids like already, so it's always like, if not now, later on, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, I did want that. But yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, y'all can do y'all kids the way y'all. But yeah, you know what? I mean, and at the end of the day, like, I still fuck with parents that don't like, that have the, I'm gonna say, the self-control to be like, nah, I'm not gonna get you this. Not just saying like you're not gonna get it, whatever, but like having the self-control, like, yeah, I would like to get you this, but I feel like you'll be better off not having this. It'll build character. It just builds your kids beating the shit out of each other behind closed doors.
Building animosity up.
Yeah, building animosity up in this bitch. Like,
oh man. I like that we had an example of that recently on this very program, and here you are saying, no, I got my babies. Worry not. So that's the plot and that's the scheme of it, man. Anything else, man? Like I said, I know, like I said, it's been a couple of weeks, just trying to catch up with you, make sure we all tight.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, that's been pretty much it. Like work is worky, man. Like I don't know. Work has been better. Work has been worse. I mean, life is just I don't know, man. This I'm not gonna say it's been tough, but like, man, I'm so I just been like it's been lots of stuff going on, like in the background, like as far as like looking for a new house, finding a new house, cleaning up this house. Um, like we haven't closed on a new house yet, but it might happen soon. We're pretty close to it. Um, which like is exhausting because like um, there's so much shit you got to do for a house, and like we got to pick out. We'll have to soon do the other hard work, pick out paint colors and flooring, and but you know I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but it's we got more stuff on our plate. I'm looking forward to like 2025 when I can just like breathe for a little bit.
Well, maybe get there. Maybe get there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's when I get to hand the reins of the production over to Daniel for his segment. It's called Story Time with Lunchbox. Box man, what's been going on with you for the last couple of weeks? Well, if y'all didn't recognize, we record on Thursdays, and last Thursday was 4th of July, Independence Day. And of course, it might be the last one we have, so I figure, what I'm saying, I'm not going to bother trying to get a recording going on that day. So, what's going on with you, Box?
Well, I assume you all want me to talk about the pictures I sent you guys the other day.
Lube.
You know what? I did not. It's not like I was like, we should have this discussion. But now, yeah, we should probably have that discussion. Do tell, sir.
So, I had talked to my dad and my stepmom a couple weeks back about like grabbing a meal in place of like Father's Day, Mother's Day gifts or whatever. And they had it was around the time I had gone to the flea market that has like the Dutch kitchen in it, and they were talking about this place that they'd gone to back in the day, out in like near Mansfield, Ohio. And I was like, oh yeah, we could do that. And a couple days ago, like we went this past Saturday, and a couple days prior to that, my stepmom had messaged me and basically asked if like my brother could tag along with us all. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. And she was like talking about like, oh, there's this card shop that I saw that's down near there, and there's a thrift store. Maybe we could do that too. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So I got up Saturday and I went and picked them up, and we drove down there. We went to the card shop first, and like I didn't buy anything, but like my brother bought like a box of cards and some deck sleeves and stuff. And then we went to the thrift store. It was a Volunteers of America, which
Yes,
I'd
I
never
love
been in
that
before.
place.
And so like I didn't have any interest in like sifting through the clothes. So I went over to like I started in the book section, and found a couple books. Like a couple were for my brother. Like he's into like detective, like think like Columbo type of shit.
Yeah.
And there were a couple books that sounded like they'd be up his alley, so I put them in the cart. And then I found like some book about like dinosaur like excavation that was for me. And then I found like a book to put on eBay. And then I started going through like the houseware stuff, and found like this Harry Potter Hufflepuff garden plate thing for my sister. And I was just doing my thing. Eventually, like my brother and like my dad had kind of like wandered back over to my area while my stepmom was like looking through women's clothing, and they had like an entire wall that was like pegboard type thing, where like a typical thrift store style thing where they do like the grab bags and they put them on the pegboards. And so I was just going through all the bags, seeing if I found anything interesting. And I was talking to my dad and my brother while I was doing this, and at this point, like my stepmom had kind of like wandered over to our area, and she was like looking through stuff on the wall too. And at this point, I'm looking through and I'm talking, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw like a purple container, and I thought I caught the name on the container, and I had to double check because I was like, "There's no way that's real." And then I go and like I look, and sure as shit, it was a bag that had Astroglide lube in it, and I was like, "Can they even?" My mind immediately goes to, "Can they even sell that here? Like, is that legal?" And then like I'm like, I looked at the price on the bag, and it was $2, and there were 4 of them in the bag. I was like, "Holy shit, that's a good price!" Because like,
I don't know if it's supposed to be here, but I know it's a damn good price.
yeah, I mean, like each one of those containers is like $10 a container. Like, so I'm thinking, okay, there's $40 worth of lube in this bag for $2. That's pretty fucking good. And then, then I was like, well, shit, what if it's expired? And so I started like looking around the bag, and like I found the expiration date was like etched into the top of the bottles, and it was good for another year. So I was like, okay, so they're not expired. I'm like, all right, now I wonder if it's open, but I'm like, I don't think it is, because I'm like, they were opened. I don't think they would sell them. So I'm like, they got to be sealed. And then I noticed another bag like on the pegboard next to it. And I was like, oh shit, there's another one. So then I just started looking, and I went up and down the whole pegboard, and I found a bunch of bags. And so I just grabbed every single one of them. And my dad was like, what is that? And I explained it. He's like, oh my God. And then like my stepmom was like 15 feet away, and my brother yells over her like, oh, you're not gonna believe what Danny found. And she's like, what is it? And I hold up the bag, and I said kind of an inside joke that's like a family thing, so I'm not going to repeat it necessarily here. But she goes, what is, like, she's like, I see you're holding it, but like, she's like, what is it? And I'm like, I just yell, Astroglide lube. She goes, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why do you have them all in the cart? I'm like, I'm buying them. She goes, are you serious? I was like, yeah. I'm like, I looked it up on eBay, and they sell on eBay. I'm like $7 to $8 a bottle. I'm like 860,000 sales on eBay right now currently. So this shit moves on there. I'm like, I'm gonna grab them, and I'm like, even if I only sell a couple of them, I'm like, if I sell a couple, that's enough to cover my cost. And I'm like, anything after that's profit. So I'm like, I'm willing to take the gamble. I'm like, it's a small thing. Like, won't take up a lot of space in my house. I can do like one listing and have a quantity, like people could buy multiples. I'm like, so there's not that much work involved. I'm like, I'm willing to take the risk. So I grabbed every single bag I could find on the pegboard, and then we went up front, and they had kind of like a showcase area, and they had a bow and arrow, like a legit like compound bow in a case. And it was listed for 100, but it was like their orange tag, so it was like 25% off, so it was only $75. And my dad was like, he wanted it, but he's like, I'd buy it if it was 50, but I can't do 75. And I was like, just get the damn bow. I'm like, I'll pay for it. And he's like, seriously? And then my brother's like, yeah. My brother goes, I'll pay for half. So like me and my brother went halvesies and bought my dad a weapon.
That's great, man.
But it was so it was in like a carrying case, like a giant like carrying case. It wasn't just loosey goosey.
Yeah.
And so to go up to the register with it, I had to carry it. And at this point, like I was holding, because I had it propped up on the shopping cart, like on the front, kind of like if you were like a Sam's Club and you were kind of overflowing with something.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to be able to fit into the checkout line with that on the front of the cart like it was. So I had to grab it off the cart and hold it. But I'm carrying this giant case, and I asked my dad if he could push the cart into the checkout while I'm carrying the case. And he goes, oh, it's just because you want me to be the one to go up to the counter with all the lube. And honestly, the thought hadn't even crossed my mind when I asked him. I was literally just trying to carry the damn crossbow, the bow and arrow. And I was like, oh, I'm like, hey, that's not it. I'm like, I don't care. if all these people, this is why I start getting progressively louder. I'm like, I don't care if all these people here know I'm buying all these bags of lube. And he just started laughing. And so we go up to the register, and it's funny. The lady was more shocked about the crossbow purchase than she was about the lube bags.
Well, it's funny.
Like, she didn't give the lube bags like a second notice. Like, but she was talkative about the crossbow.
Yeah, these nunchucks right here, I got them from Volunteers of America. So they have weapons there all the time.
Nice. Now I know where to go. Yeah. So we checked out, and then we ended up going to this buffet. Well, it's a restaurant, but they have a buffet there, and it's like, I don't know if you went to the Dutch kitchen with me when we went to the flea market, right, Aunt?
Yeah.
Okay, so this place is kind of like that, where like they have like, you walk in and there's like, they have their own baked goods shop, and they have like a gift shop upstairs, and then you can go up to the restaurant and get seated, and then they have like meals you can order, or you can order like the buffet. So the pictures I was sending you guys, that all came off the buffet.
Looked incredible.
I would describe it as white people who don't know how to season their food.
Oh.
It looked great though. Like, I was like, oh, this all
It looked good, and it wasn't inedible, but like, I would say, like, if we were to go, we would probably want to bring some, like, something in our bag with us, like some sauce,
the hot sauce and
maybe
the tahini and
some paprika or something. Yeah, because like I never salt my food when I'm at a restaurant, and I had to salt some of this food to make it like palatable.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll bring some little packets of Cajun sparkle.
Come through with the
I don't know what it is with like these like certain nationalities of people, but like their pasta salads are all sweet. They use sugar in all of them, like potato salad, macaroni salad, coleslaw, like nothing savory. It's all fucking sweet. So it's a little overpowering. But I will say that the bread pudding I sent you guys a picture of, the bread pudding was the best thing I had on the entire buffet line. It's not as good as Hex bread pudding that I had a couple weeks back, but it was some decent buffet bread pudding. I don't know if you've had Hex bread pudding, Anthony, but it is fucking insane.
Over there in Ohio City?
Well, it's a Hex.
They do have a location in Ohio City. We got it in Avon, but yeah,
Okay.
they have it in Ohio City too.
Yeah, it's a Hex on in Beechwood, like straight up the street. Like me and my buddy that worked at the building behind Tomato.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had lunch with him because our birthdays in the same month, and we went to the Hex in Beechwood, and they offered it, but like I didn't get it. I should maybe I'll just go up there just to get that.
Yeah, I'll say this: the rest of the food I had that day was absolute trash, but their bread pudding was fantastic.
You know what's crazy about Hex?
Me and my buddy were talking about it, and we were just like, it was the most like soulless food I'd ever had. Like, it was like they were trying to be fancy, but then they just completely fucking missed the mark 100%. Like, they didn't even they fouled off every pitch.
Yeah, what's crazy about Hex is the one thing that would make their food it'll only be like a little bit off on what, like they don't toast their buns or grill their buns at all. I'm like, that would make your sandwich a whole lot better. Why don't you do that? It'll make it less sloppy, but I don't
know. What are buffets like here in 2024 post COVID?
So I haven't been to many, if I'm being honest. Like, I went to a Chinese buffet on 4th of July. I know, like, what I'm about to say is going to make it sound like I go to buffets all the fucking time, but it's just literally a coincidence that I went to 2 in 1 week. Because honestly, I don't even know that many that exist anymore. Because, like, I think COVID killed a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to like the sushi place that I used to go to all the time back in the day, Kumo, on 4th of July, and that just happened. Like, that wasn't planned. And then I went to that place down in Mansfield. Der Dutchman is the name of that place. And like I don't know, like I didn't feel like anything was different really than it used to be back in the day. Like everything kind of seemed normal. The PlayStations were there, like the food was like. I will say that like I guess and like this isn't necessarily a buffet per se, but the last time I had gone to Mongolian barbecue, BD's Mongolian barbecue, they had someone at the one location doling out the food into your bowl for you rather than you grabbing it yourself.
Yeah.
But like these last two places that I went to, the Chinese buffet and the Dutchman, it was completely self serve. The plate station, like there was no there was no worry of COVID at all in these places.
Well, while we were in Sandusky, we went to the Golden Corral. That's the place we ate at the first night because our room didn't have a microwave in it, and I was just like, we can eat this, we can be full, we can go back to the room and then go to bed for the night. Man, the boys were over the moon, man. Like Anthony had so much fun getting up, like putting whatever he wanted on his plate. I don't think they even knew a place like that existed. They were so happy.
I just I just wonder if we should be still getting down like that. But I guess I don't know. Sneeze guards exist. People breathe. It is what it is.
I think part of natural selection has happened with buffets. It's like because when we went to Golden Corral and Sandusky, it wasn't that many people there. And like it was like the best of both worlds. It was like it wasn't that many people there. The food seemed okay. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's always kind of like you always take a gamble no matter where you go to eat.
Well, that and like to a degree, there's always gonna be illness. If it's not COVID now, it'll be something down the line. Like, you know,
I don't know. I don't even know what you
fears,
could do.
I suppose.
I don't even know what you could do different. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you going to make people put on gloves to get their food? Are you going to, then you got to provide that? Are you going to, like you said, have people serve you, which I actually think could be the move because it just helps with the employment situation. Because people will be like, well, you got to raise the price of food and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I know. This is how capitalism fucking works. You give people jobs and you pay them by charging people a fucking amount. And I'm like, if you could do that and just be like, but you can like really get down, be like, I'll tell you when to stop.
There's that famous place in Pennsylvania. I don't know. Like, have you guys seen it before?
Yeah, massive
it's like the biggest buffet.
Yeah,
I watched a video on that like on YouTube a couple weeks ago, and they have a lot of stations there where like they make the food like right there in front of you and then serve it to you. Like it's not 100% like self-serve buffet.
Yeah. And that's kind of nice, fresh to order. You know what I'm saying? That way you know what's up, and they sprinkle the hoping they season that bitch right for you.
Yeah, like even that Golden Corral, they still got the steak man, they got the turkey man, they got the roast beef man, they got the ham man.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I
figured the whole hometown buffet instructional video of the white dude doing the creepy like conversation.
Yeah. So how's the weather out there?
I'm just saying. I figure it is there's probably a way that you can do buffets, but just like y'all just said, the person if in this buffet I just whipped up where people are serving you, they can have any disorder that is going to extend to the food. So it's like, fuck you,
Yeah, I mean, that could be literally anywhere. I mean, like if you go get McDonald's tonight, there's nothing saying that the person grilling your burger.
McDonald's bag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you just got to pick your fears. It's like you can only worry to a certain degree before it's just like at some point, what are you gonna do? Like go have your own farm and kill your own animals and do your own thing. Like that's the only way you can guarantee that like you didn't catch airborne illness from a chef.
What it is COVID, of course, brought about motherfuckers learning how to wash their hands for the first time, it seemed like, for some people. Which is already kind of like, Jesus Christ, really? Y'all did not know how to wash your hands? Y'all didn't know to sing the ABC song? Come on, bro. But as it turns out, no, they didn't. It had to be explained. And so you feel like, man, hopefully, we're all trying to be a little better, but you know what it is. People still going to take a deuce and leave without ever getting anywhere near some water. So it is what it is.
I
Yeah.
get near the
Anything else,
water, but it's in the
Boxman?
bidet.
Anything else, kind sir?
Did you sell
That was
any
the
yet?
only lube I found. No, I'm sad. Like I listed it all on Sunday, so it's been up for 4 days, and I haven't sold it yet. I didn't think it would be like an instant thing because, like I said, there's like a lot of sales, but there's also a lot of listings. So,
Yeah.
I put it up for $9.99 a bottle, but I put it on free shipping because I figure like
Mhm.
if each bottle costs me 50 cents and I weighed it. Obviously, it weighs 5 ounces because it's 4 ounces of product in like a 1 ounce container. I actually weighed it on the scale, and then like the box and stuff will be like another ounce. So like shipping's about 6 ounces. So it would cost me like $4 to $5, probably like somewhere between like $3.50 and $5 to mail it anywhere in the United States if someone bought one. So I figured I would just eat the shipping cost, and so like, each one I would make a couple bucks if they sell. Now I also put on volume pricing, so if like someone buys two, they get like 10% or like 5% off. If they buy three, they get like 8% off, or they buy four, they get like 10% off or something like that to try and encourage like
Yeah.
people to buy multiples. But like I said, it's a gamble. I thought it was a low risk gamble, and if it ends up being a couple months from now and I haven't sold any, maybe I'll just start using them.
Or you can put them in the trick or treaters bags.
Yeah, I
It would
mean,
definitely end
it
up on
can
the
be used for
news.
lots of things, right?
Why'd you
Can
end
I
up
end
on
up
the
on
news
news for
with
that?
that?
I'm telling you right
The
now.
nicest man in the city. You'll get the key to the city.
No, what you do is you give them candy and a little something for your parents.
No, give it to the single moms.
Hey,
Whoever wants
stand
it.
up. Just put a basket of it right there on the porch. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
Take
You
one.
need.
Take one, please. Don't be greedy.
Oh, it's not like look. I need you to make enough sales to get your dough back, but then also I need this to happen on Halloween. I just do. I
Yeah.
need that to be a thing.
I guess I don't remember if I said this or not. I don't think I did. But so like I had bought like all the bags, but I didn't know how many bags I had bought because I didn't actually count while I was in the store.
Yeah.
So when I got home that day, I pulled them all out and counted because I actually had to drop everything off. So like we ate at the restaurant, and then we stopped at Grandpa's Cheese Barn on the way back home, and then I went and hung out at my dad's for a while. After that, like we had pie in it and like hung out, and I showed like my brother some magic cards and stuff. And then it was actually a wrestling pay per view that night, and my friends were asking me to come over, so I left to go to their house for that. But I didn't want to have like the food that I had bought at Grandpa's Cheese Barn and like the lube just kind of like heating up in my trunk because it was hot that day. So I stopped at my house and unloaded the car, and that was when I counted the final tally of how many bags I had. And I had 12 bags from the thrift store, so I had 48 bottles of lube that I listed on eBay. And if any of the listeners want to buy them, they're on my eBay right now. They're live. Go to seller lunchbox 2099 on eBay. You can go. I'll even autograph it if you want. Put it in the buyer notes. I'll sign it. I'll write like
When you
from
see
me to you with love, lunchbox.
the show title, 48 bottles of lube.
LOL doesn't stand for lots of love anymore. It stands for lots of lube.
This is the portion of the show where it happened at. Okay, it was an hour and 26 in before we came to a title naturally. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Well, thank you for sharing that tale. I'd honestly cleared my mind of it. Not on mode. I have not thought of it so or whatever, but I just hadn't even been thinking about it. So thank you for bringing that back around. That's a pretty great story. I'm glad you got to kick it with your folk.
What's funny
Go
is
on.
my stepmom's actually texting me right now. Because we were discussing something else that's going on next week, and she asked if we were recording. She knows we record on Thursdays, so I'm like, it's actually funny. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're doing it right now, and she goes, "Okay, I'm hoping it gets named Thrift Store Lube." LOL. And,
Look at that
so
timing.
yeah, and this I guess will go under the listener feedback section. She goes, "Okay, I listened to the one with sound issues, and it sounded like a demon belching. That was funny."
That's exactly what my because Delvin hit me up the other day. I can tell you exactly what he said because, of course, he texts me and I don't delete texts. You had Mr. Cox. He said, Chaffee's mic situation is driving me insane on this week's SKiM, LOL. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. His equipment was not playing nice with Iris. And he go, you good, bro. It sounded like he's burping constantly, though, through the episode and a laughing face emoji because that's just what it sounded like. It's just like, it sounded like that as we recorded it as well. Luckily, Chaffee's computer has been fixed. So next time he is a guest on this very program, worry not, he should sound as normal as ever before. But it is what it is, man. Sometimes the internet don't be internet, and so and like what's funny is Box records on a tablet now as well, and it's fine. You hear Box's voice; it sounds relatively crystal clear. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't do much by way of hiccuping and stuff like that. But Chaffee's tablet was like, "Fuck you! I ain't doing nothing." So yeah, it sounded real bad. But I'm glad she appreciated it on some level, and so that's pretty great. I'm going down to Columbus this weekend myself, so I would definitely, you gotta stop at Grandpa's Cheese Bar. And it's a tradition if you are near that exit, stop by Grandpa's Cheese Bar. It's a delight. They always have some samples. Well, they did. I hadn't been in the time of COVID, so I don't know. I assume camp samples are still available. That's a thing, right?
I hope
They
so.
didn't have them out there when I was there. Like you had to. There was a sign on the wall that said if you want to try something to ask. They didn't have like the little plate of cheeses, but also like we were out there around like 3:00 in the afternoon. So like maybe at that point they were like packing up because I think they close at 5 or no, they close at 6.
Okay.
So we were there probably I think around 4, and so
Okay.
maybe just that late in the day they don't like leave them out that like that.
True.
I currently have something in my fridge that if it survives the next couple of weeks is for Anthony, but I don't know if it'll get eaten between now and then.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, I definitely want to get my Grandpa's Cheese Barn on, and I'll probably hit up IKEA. If y'all need anything from IKEA, let me know so that way I'll get it while I'm down there.
That has
And,
one like I used to be all on top of that shit. Like I used to get the catalog. I used to be looking up like, oh man, they got this and this and this here. I don't even know.
Look, I'm going Saturday, and the main reason I'm going is because Vanessa was like, we should go to Bonchon. I'm like, or we can go to BB.Q and I can change your life right quick. So
She hasn't been.
no, and so I feel like that has to be a thing. You said, but now what did you say? The one in Columbus is it's not sit down. What is it about that one? I thought you told me something about that.
I thought Lunch said that.
Well, one of y'all.
I don't know nothing about it other than it's the same restaurant.
Oh,
Fair
okay.
enough. Well, we're gonna go get us some
Yeah, I've never
the
been
best
there, so I
quality
don't know.
chicken from their Columbus area location. I will let you guys know what's popping with that. And then my youngest's birthday is Tuesday, and they have a very specific list. If you in the next couple of days come across a Kurt Cobain Funko Pop figure, or have rushed up against one, and then you can recall where it's at, please let me know. They have a desire for one, and I will of course make that happen one way or another. And so they have a very specific list and of what they want and how they want it, and they want Jack Frost donuts instead of cake. And I'm like, easy peasy.
I had checked eBay yesterday because I was like trying to like look to see what it looked like, and there's a lot of
it's like
variations.
3-4 different ones. I know it drives me insane.
And they're all very high.
Yes, there's the one. I think he wants the one with him in shades, and I feel like
that's the highest one.
I saw it at one point for like 140. What are
Yeah,
you
this
looking at right now?
164.99.
Yeah. So I no, I can't believe I'm probably about to spend this much bread on a goddamn Funko Pop, but birthdays are special
I've sold
times.
ones for more.
Yeah, so that's what's up with that. And so we'll be out here. We'll see. We'll see how we'll see how it all plays out. And that's I think that's about the only thing that's popping in my neck of the woods that needs any kind of whatever. That won't be under the banner of entertainment. So worry not. But let's get on over to the mean streets of Reddit, where I have had some stuff saved for a little bit. So we're gonna hit my save file. And two of these are from the great value I'm an asshole, AITA. And one of these is from a proper Am I the Asshole? So here are our Am I the Assholes for the week. AITAH for punching my sister's fiance.
Hmm.
AITAH for telling my sister that I will not be attending her wedding. Am I the asshole for giving my brother's Discord to a girl without asking him?
That one's pretty
What?
funny.
We'll start with this wedding one because they're always can be a hoot, and we'll swirl from around. AITAH for telling my sister that I will not be attending her wedding. This is a long story, so I'll attempt to keep it short and simple. I, male 31, told my sister, female 30, I will not be attending her wedding. Before my sister met her current fiance, she was in a relationship with my best friend, male 31. I've known my best friend since the second grade, and I love him like he's my own brother. He's the type of friend I would give my life for, and he's always been there for me for anything, and same for me with him. My best friend and my sister were very close. Since my best friend would always come over our house and hang out, and my sister always tagged along with us, my sister and best friend got into a relationship when my best friend was a sophomore in college and my sister a freshman. They both went to the same state school. I went to a college out of state. When I heard about their relationship, I was happy. I love my sister, and I always want what's best for her. And my best friend being with her was very ideal and made me happy. My best friend thought it would upset me, but it was quite the opposite. My best friend and his sis relationship went on past college. They moved in with each other, and everything looked to be working out well for them. After being together for 6 years, I one day received a call from my best friend, and he was crying.
Hmm.
I was caught off guard since I'd never seen that man shed a tear in his life. He said my sister had an affair with someone else and that she ended the relationship. When my best friend found out, I was heartbroken for him. I called my sister right away, and I'll admit I said very bad things and told her to explain why she would do such a thing. And she got emotional and said they were growing apart and she met someone else. She got emotional and said she fucked up and it was wrong to have an affair. I just hung up the phone on her and blocked her since I was in shock and extremely pissed.
Hmm.
I received calls from my parents who told me to forgive her, but I told them I can't and maybe I will in time. Luckily, my parents aren't too pushy and understand boundaries, and they understood. I spent a lot of time with my best friend after the breakup. Forgot to mention I moved back to my home state after college and work in my home state as well as my best friend and sis. They all work in the same state. Very good. It was hard seeing my friend in this state since he's always the more extroverted person compared to me. Eventually, as time moved on, Tings, he did write Tings, got better, but I could tell something was still broken inside him. Fast forward 3 years later, before fast forwarding, my relationship with my sister deteriorated. I never spoke with her and ignored her calls/texts. I rarely went to family functions since I could not bear looking at my sister. My sister stayed with a dude she had the affair with, according to conversation with my mother. One day, my parents invited me over to brunch. I remember parking my car, but noticed a vehicle I had never seen before. But I didn't think much of it. I go into the house, and as I'm making my way to the room, I saw my sister with the dude she had an affair with. I just blurted out, "What the hell is going on?" My mother and father asked if I could please sit down. Out of respect for my parents, I did. What they asked, okay, there we go. Out of respect for my parents, I did what they asked. Period. Things got emotional. With my sister crying and saying she's sorry, my best friend cut all contact with my sister, so they have not spoken since the breakup. Just additional context. My mother started getting emotional and told me to please forgive and move on. I barely made eye contact with her affair dude. I said that I need to leave, and my sister said she and a fair dude are getting married and they would like me to attend the wedding. I said, are you fucking serious? She said yes, and she went on to say he's the love of her life and wants us to be close like we were, and for me to give him a chance. I said in a stern and straight face, there is no way in hell I will come to your wedding. My father, who was quiet during the exchange, said, this has got to stop. Your sister admitted to her mistake, and you need to let it go. I replied, whatever. As I proceeded to leave, my mom yelled emotionally, she's your sister. How can you not forgive her? How can you not attend her wedding? I simply said I no longer have a sister and left. Once I left, I put my phone on sleep mode for a few hours to just process what had happened. Once I checked my phone, I received many calls / texts from parents / relatives, many saying, how can you choose someone outside of the family over your sister? And that I being a jerk and so on. My father told me that if I don't attend the wedding, he will cut me out of his will. I have stood my ground and made it clear I wasn't attending the wedding. Wedding is in September of 2024. I talked to my best friend and told him about everything regarding my sis and me not attending the wedding. I told my best friend how my family hates me for it, but I don't care. My best friend, to my surprise, told me he does not want me to be the reason for severing relations with my family and said I should go to the wedding. I told him how much I respected him for saying that, and I told him how much he meant to me as a friend, and I will always have his back. But I told him not to feel guilty, because the only victim is him, and I told him I won't be attending the wedding. I told him I won't be attending the wedding. I saw a little smile on his face, and we gave each other a bro hug. I want to mention that my girlfriend thinks I make a mistake, but she also understands. She says, like everyone else, that's your sister. I'm asking you all out there, am I the asshole for not forgiving my sister and declining the wedding invite? Is it crazy to stand by a best friend over a sibling?
I don't think they're an asshole. I think they picked their side and they've made their decision and they're sticking to it. Like, I get that it's your sister, but like, they fucked over someone that you love really badly, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but did they give a time frame right on like how long it's been since this all went down between like where they are right now?
4
3
years.
years. 3 years. Yeah,
3
fast
years?
forward 3 years later.
Okay. So, yeah, like I don't think they're an asshole. I think they just if this is the path they've chosen, which it seems like they are, they just got to be willing to ride it out.
Exactly. I understand why it could be upsetting to parents and family and so forth and so on, but it's a line that this person has that was crossed, and he doesn't appreciate it. He just simply cannot deal with infidelity of this ilk with someone he loves, who was just folk to him. You know what I'm saying? Like fam since like what did it say? It said like there was like a little bit like 4 or some shit like that. 2nd grade. So I mean, what is that? 6? Yeah. So fam, it's just what it is. It's like I don't have to forgive you, and I certainly don't have to attend your wedding. It's weird that you think I should. You know what this is? No, I don't think this person's an asshole. So we'll keep motherfucking moving. This one, I just let's see how this one plays out. Am I the asshole for punching my sister's fiance? Really get my eyes right for this one. So I realized that title doesn't sound appealing, but hear me out. 32 male and my wife 35 female. Also, you can really tell the difference between the great value amateur assholes and what happens in the standard amateur asshole. These motherfuckers are writers over here. Let me go ahead and set the scene for you. 32 male and my wife 33 female have an 8-year-old daughter who is phenomenal and I adore her. And she's always enjoyed spending time with my sister 25 female. Let's call her Clara, fake name. And she's engaged to her fiance 27 male, Howard, fake name. So my wife and I are planning a trip to Honduras to see her grandmother because she is sadly ill, and her wish was to see her granddaughter, and my wife wanted me to come for support. We wanted our daughter to come, but she hates planes and refuses to even step foot in the airport. So I asked my sister if she could come and watch her. She said yes, but Howard wasn't too happy about it. So I told them we'd be gone a week and I'd pay them when we returned. Unfortunately, my wife's grandmother wasn't doing any better and her health was getting worse. So the only thing keeping my wife happy was our daughter, who we called every day the first 2 days. Who we called every day. The first 2 days she was happy and was saying how much fun she was having with Claire. But then on the third day, she wasn't very talkative, and we just assumed she was just tired. The fourth day, she didn't even answer a FaceTime call, so I called Claire to find out what was going on. She claimed my daughter was simply exhausted from all the fun they had been having. I didn't really buy it, but I decided to disregard it. Now, on the fifth day when I called my daughter, we heard yelling, so my wife called her friend Sarah to get our daughter and the police involved. We returned right away after explaining the situation to her family, who were very understanding. And as soon as we returned, we went to Sarah's house. Howard was yelling while playing Xbox, and it scared her, so she dropped the plate. But Howard got upset and told her to clean it up and drag her away from the camera. After we landed, we headed straight to Sarah, to which we saw our daughter, and she ran toward us crying and just holding us both. After a while, she let go and explained everything. So around the third day, Howard started yelling at her to clean or be quiet, and he wouldn't let her eat dinner because we spoiled her. And Claire was just letting it happen, telling her that she has to understand if she ever wants a boyfriend. I was horrified because who says that to an 8-year-old? When the cops arrived, they couldn't do much because everything appeared to be in order. But because my daughter wanted to go with Sarah, they allowed Sarah to take her. So I thanked Sarah, and we drove home. Okay. When we arrived at our house, my daughter immediately went to her room and was holding my wife and my hand, and she said she wanted to sleep with all of us. I kissed her forehead and said I had to take care of some business and looked sad. But my wife held her and said, "Don't worry, Daddy will be right back." And that's why I love that woman. She always knows what I'm thinking. I drove to Clara's house and knocked on her door. She answered, looking surprised, but before she could say anything, I forced my way inside and saw Howard drinking a beer, and he looked at me and said, "Fuck you want?"
Oh.
I asked him why he treated my daughter that way, and he said that she needed to know how the real world works. When I called him idiot for even saying that, he got up and walked toward me, thinking I'd be intimidated because he's taller. For context, I'm 5'8" and he's 6'2", but I've always been small my entire life and never fight fair. So when he tried to talk down to me, I punched him in his stomach so hard he actually fell to his knees, gasping for air. And when he tried talking down to me, I punched him in his. Oh, yeah, okay. And after, sorry, I got so confused. I punched him in his stomach so hard he actually fell to his knees, gasping for air. And after a little while, he started throwing up. Before I could do anything else, my sister stepped in between us, began yelling at me to get out. But before I left, I told her she was dead to me and they would never see my kid again. The next day, I got so many calls and texts from my family saying I could have handled the situation better. And Howard is in the hospital because apparently he can't breathe correctly.
Good. Fuck that dude.
So now I'm wondering if I was wrong. But my wife and her family say I wasn't wrong at all. But I keep thinking I probably could have handled the situation better. So now I'm thinking I might be the TAH, the asshole. Is this person an asshole?
Nah. That's a good dad.
That's a full-on run-up, get done up right quick, motherfucker.
The one thing I don't like is like all these other people got shit to say. Then why didn't you watch my fucking kid then? Like, or I don't know, man. Why this dude Howard is a fucking dirtbag, man. And he wanted it as soon as he got soon as he's like, what the fuck do you want? These hands, motherfucker. That's what you wanted. That's all you wanted. That's what you wanted the whole time.
These motherfuckers is COD, bitch. Come see me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sir, no, you're not the asshole. And I think most of us would have done the same. Also, again, in reality, he ran up on you. And business had to be handled. And it was. Fucking little bitch.
I ain't fucking with you.
Last month, I'm out the asshole for giving my brother's Discord to a girl without asking him. Does that seem like this person is an asshole? Just taking that face value.
No.
No, because that's an easy block if you don't want them to have it.
Last week, I, 21 male, took my little brother, 15, to an anime convention in our state. It was my brother's first time going to one, and he's pretty nerdy. He's pretty nerdy to boot, so he had been very excited about going in the weeks leading up. My brother isn't a very social kid by his own admission. He's a massive introvert. He doesn't have a ton of IRL friends, and on the drive up to the hotel, he told me he wanted to make at least one friend during the weekend. I told him I'd help if I could. Early in the second day of the convention, me and him are waiting in line for the dealer's hall to open, and in front of us is a girl about my brother's age playing on a Nintendo Switch. I asked her what game she plays, and when she mentions one that my brother, a huge Nintendo fanboy, had played, I said, "Oh, my brother here is a big fan of those too. Isn't that right, brother's name?" He sheepishly agrees, and to my surprise, starts talking to the girl about the game, and then some other ones before moving on to other nerdy things they had shared interest in. It was the most I'd ever seen my brother interact with a stranger, and it made me very happy to see. Eventually, the dealer's hall opened, and me and my brother and the girl all end up at the same booth buying merch. As we're checking out, I point to the girl and ask what my brother thought. He just as sheepishly tells me that he thought she was cool and kind of cute. "You should go ask for her Discord. I bet she'd give it to you." "No," is all he says in response. When I press him on why, he says he's nervous about coming off as creepy, and besides, what if she says no? I tell him that as long as he isn't approaching her in a creepy way, then he probably doesn't have to worry about that, and if she says no, then she says no. That rejection is part of getting to know people, and learning how to handle it well when you're young would be a big help for when he's an adult. He tells me no again, and by that time the girl is gone anyway. Later during the day, me and my brother got separated, and I was walking around on my own. And at some point, I noticed the girl at a booth, and I go up to her, asked her what she thought of my brother, and her response was remarkably similar to my brother's. She thought he was funny and cute, and wanted to talk to him more about Switch games. I offered to give her my brother's Discord, and she agrees. A few hours later, she finally messages him and says, "Hey," with an introduction and how she got his Discord. My brother was pissed, all caps. He immediately started telling me that it was a total breach of his privacy to give out the Discord without his permission. I pointed out that he had told me that he wanted to make friends at the convention and that I basically dropped one at his feet. He went quiet and was chilly around me the rest of the day, but was fine by the next day. That was a week ago. I did apologize to him, and it feels important to say that he and the girl are still talking daily. Was I the asshole for giving out his Discord without asking him? Edit 1. My wording made it a bit unclear, but I apologized to him that night before we went to bed. Edit 2. Another thing to clarify, my brother never actually told me not to give out his Discord, just that he didn't want to ask for hers. His complaint about privacy only came after she messaged him. And mini update. Thanks to everyone who commented, even the people with the more passionate opinions. I mentioned in a comment that he and the girl had been playing Fortnite together daily since we got back from the convention. School is out for the summer, so they basically play all day and well into the night. And all I hear from the room are the sounds of someone having a great time. A few minutes ago, my brother managed to pull himself away from Fortnite, not to thank me like some people thought, but to ask me to drive him to a date next weekend with her. She lives in the same state. It was a big con we went to. Lots of people from out of state. And it's only about half an hour away. They're going to go see a movie and then hang out at an arcade. It all worked out. No, I don't think you were the asshole for basically putting the new version of getting the girl's number for your brother or giving your brother's number to a girl.
They're an asshole.
Go on, bro.
They're an asshole because they just wanted to brag about how good of a sibling they were.
How good a wingman they are.
Yeah. That whole thing just to be like, and now my brother's getting some. Like, come on, man. You knew you did, right? Because, like, getting somebody a Discord or email is like the least common denominator. It's like, it's the most simple thing you can do without giving somebody like your actual number or Instagram page or Facebook, something like it's so soft.
I
You
was
really
like,
want to ask.
I was like, man, Discord is quite different. Only thing I'm on Discord for with any kind of actual like I'm talking to somebody is we when we do Cadillac, people like, have questions or comments, and so I'm in the PSVG Cadillac group. I will respond and answer questions and so forth. So that's about all. That's about as and that's more like old school message boards than anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing any voice communication in there. So, but I guess Discord is the new phone number. Does that seem right? Does that make sense?
In
Yeah,
this
Discord,
situation, yes.
WhatsApp, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, man, you good, bro. You're a good brother. It's all right. It's Dan would do the same thing for his brother, probably. You know what I'm saying? Although Dan probably wouldn't talk to strangers. But I mean, if y'all hung
Man,
out enough, like,
I was
and
talking
went
to
to a
like
booth or something like that.
I felt bad for a kid and was talking to like a 14-year-old last night. Not in a Dr. Disrespect way.
No Dr. Disrespect. No Diddy.
Yeah. No, I played in a Magic the Gathering draft at a store last night. My second round opponent was like a 14-year-old or a 15-year-old or something. He was a young kid. And so like
Yeah.
after I beat the shit out of him, I felt bad because he was clearly the youngest kid in the room. And he didn't have parents with him or nothing. And so I was just like, all right, well, let me try and make this kid feel happy or feel included or whatever. So I just started asking him some questions and trying to get to know him a little bit, and then he saw us playing Pokemon Go on my phone, so he was like, "Oh man, you want to do the raid outside?" So I was just trying to be nice to the kid. Like I could tell that like he's the young kid, and like the teenagers or like the college students that work there, or whatever, kind of fuck with him a little bit. They give him a hard time, and so I was just trying to be nice to him. It was weird being a 38-year-old man trying to have a casual conversation with like a 14-year-old out in public. But I think I did my best to navigate it in a way that like wasn't creepy and I was being kind.
Very good. Again, no Dr. Disrespect, because that's not how we roll. That was your Emma the Assholes of the Week. I hope you enjoyed them. They'll be in the show notes if you want to go read them yourself. And be so inclined if you want to. I am watching let's jump over to entertainment and we'll go over that. I am watching Star Wars Acolyte. I have not watched this week's episode yet because I kind of forgot, and I was already kind of working on the KP that comes out tomorrow, and just was nowhere in my mind was like I should be watching Star Wars of last night, because after all the talk of season 2, I finally was like, okay, let me start House of the Dragon. And so I've been watching it. We've watched like a couple episodes a night for the last few nights. And Vanessa had already watched the first season and is into the second season. I had not watched any of it because I simply was not in a space to watch a show where I'm gonna fall in love with a character that is going to be killed and or raped and or have sex with their family, because that's just how Game of Thrones moves. And but I have missed Game of Thrones style fantasy, whatever kind of show, and it's been very good so far, and I have enjoyed it, and so I'm getting down with that. I of course very much enjoyed the released on the 4th of July Not Like Us music video. That little 10-second clip at the beginning of that video, which makes you just want new Kendrick right now. But I have to be patient. But that video was a delight, and I love watching all the YouTubers try to break down the Easter eggs and what they see. New Rockstars, who's more does nerdy breakdowns, did a breakdown of the damn Kendrick video. That's wild. And so there's a New Rockstars video talking about the Easter eggs in the Kendrick video, which is hilarious to me. And so I it's just a delight. That song still goes hard, and I love seeing angry Drake stands like, this shit's corny now. He dragging it out and blah blah blah. And I'm like, y'all are so bitch made, and it's hilarious.
But I think
The song is
tonight. I don't know if it happened tonight, but I think the Drake fans got a win. Did you see the video where Michael Ealy pick up? Well, I put it in the
yeah. You said it in the
other
chat.
chat.
Yeah,
Yeah, light skins up today, man. They up because they got Jonathan Major super salty right now. That was, I think that was messed up what Mikey Ealy did. So the light skins up on 1 point tonight.
yeah. What it is last night. Well, also something I watched is last night I watched the USA versus Canada. Everybody's doing their Olympic tune-ups,
Mm-hmm.
and for a good quarter of basketball, I was like, we got some rust to shake off, gentlemen. But then they started doing what was supposed to do, which is the motherfuckers doing what they supposed to do. And of course, right after we won, immediately they not like start playing. I'm like, there you go, people at the. I think they're playing in Vegas, and I was like, that's a delight. They'll be at I think Abu Dhabi for the next two games, and then they're going to London. So basically, just trying to get everybody on that time for that side of the world. But yeah, it's real. We're I didn't know Dylan Brooks was Canadian, and it makes him being the kind of asshole he is much more specific. I'm like, it's real Drake-like behavior you be doing. Maybe Canadian light skins be doing that bullshit.
What is it? The braids?
It really is. I am playing. I really like. So I've had it for a while, and I started playing it, and I talked about it before. But I really like now. It's got its hooks in me. Paper Mario: 1,000-Year Door. I don't really do too many RPGs, but that game got a story going now, and it's like, okay, we chugging. So I'm a few chapters in now and having a real good time. Y'all know I've talked about before, and in fact, I had it on my IG. If you follow IG, that's my analog pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And forever ago, I heard about somebody making a color version of Super Mario Land, which is like the first Mario game on the Game Boy. And what it requires is a super specific ROM of the game, and I didn't have that. I have the cartridge, and I also have a ROM of some sort, but I didn't have this particular ROM that I needed. But I found the ROM I needed on the Internet Archive, which then meant I could take that ROM, hack it, and make it. And I don't hear me say I hacked the ROM and thinking I'm really in here, controlling the matrix. No, I drag and drop one file to on a website, and I drag and drop another one, and then it spits out the file I need, and I download it. It's nothing. I didn't even type words. It's just grabbing stuff. But they have a color version of Super Mario Land, and I played all the way through it. And I had recently beat Super Mario Land on the Nintendo Switch Online program, but it was just a delight to play that game in color. And finally, this time I was like, I know there's a way to get to these. There's some if you play that game on a couple of boards, there are like this upstairs level that you can see it clear as day. There's coins up there. There's tunnels up there. Like, how the fudge did you get up there? And I was like, I could not remember for the life of me how to get up there. And finally, I just looked it up this time for the first time in years. And I found out how to get up to that upper level. And I was like, heck yeah. So really, really, really enjoyed playing that game. I'm loading it now. And actually, I should turn my thing down because it's going to be wild loud. And but I very much enjoy that game. It's one of my favorite games ever. And at this point, I can beat it in real short order. 12, 13-year-old me would be very impressed. I'll tell you that. I am reading. I got they hit Libby, so I got to get more of the Campers and Criminals series by Tanya Campus. The little cozy mysteries. And books 32 through 35 showed up on Libby, and I grabbed all of them, and I have gone right through 32, 33, and 34, and the 35th one I'll start maybe actually after I get done here tonight. I love those books. Tanya Kappas is a fun writer. but it's more that Johanna Parker, who the person who reads those books, that is really doing the thing. Like this book right here, this one right. I was like, it was crazy how many voices she did, and how good she is at it. And I just really enjoy her work. I like those books. Give them a go. Like I said, they're the what I call Campers and Criminals series, and the author is Tanya Kappas, and they're nothing. They're like 4 or 5 hour listens, or probably just as much if you were to read them yourself, if you were to get the actual physical books. So nothing to it. Super little fun little situations. There's never anything too. They're cozy books, which means there's never going to be anything too like. Out there, I'm saying there'll be a murder, but it'll be like, oh, they were poisoned. They weren't, murdered, and you won't hear about, saying, oh my God, they cut their intestines out or anything like that there. No, they were poisoned, or they got hit by a brick or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's never anything too out of the pocket. I am listening to currently Johann Sebastian Baklava, The Doctor. That is Action Bronson's latest release. It's a pretty fun album. I like Action Bronson. Childish Gambino dropped a single from his forthcoming release, Lithonia. I played it so many times. It will probably end up being on my end of the year list. It probably won't outpace Not Like Us and or a couple of Beyonce songs that I've been listening to off of Cowboy Carter. But Lithonia is a real good song. And I have been bumping, not hard, but I listen to it every now and again. I'm like, oh, let me play it again. TGIF by Glorilla. It's so good. I fucking Glow. Memphis is on. She's a delightful little MC, and I love her music, and it's very fun, and I like it, and I like her as a person. She's a fun interview. If you've not heard her talk, she had an interview with Angel Martinez, and Angel Martinez is basically like, oh, what's up with you and how you pronounce your R's? And she goes, yeah, people fuck with me about it, so I oftentimes don't even try to say words that have R's in them. And they got into a whole thing about how she says January. And she said, I say it right. There's only one R in January. And she goes, everybody says January. And I'm like, it's like that's not there. You look how January spelled, and I'm like, you are absolutely right. It is like January. You know what I'm saying? Rare E, I think. And she's like, and she's basically by the time that interview is wrapping up, she's like, you know what, you're right. I really shouldn't be ashamed or embarrassed by my accent. It just is what it is. It's how I speak, and that's okay. And I like that she came to that conclusion about herself. And her song TGIF goes hard as hell. So hard that Rihanna did a video of it.
Yeah.
With coming out singing to her partner ASAP Rocky. It's 7 p.m. on Friday. It's so hard, y'all. That's all. I don't know who's doing Glowrid's production. I probably should look into it a little deeper, but yeah, whoever it is, they make dope beats and she can spit on them shits. And I really enjoy her flow. So it's also why I picked Memphis flows for today's as I opened the show with today. I was just in a Memphis place where I came up at. So that's what's up. That has been what I've been watching, playing, reading, and listening to. Gentlemen, what about you?
I watched Axel F. I that's about it. I really haven't been home for the majority. I watch Independence Day on 4th of July like I always do.
Nice.
I'm current. Well, I haven't watched today's episode of The Boys, but I watched last week's. That's about it. Like, I've been watching people play Call of Duty. I've been watching people play Magic the Gathering on YouTube. Like, I haven't really done much TV watching, like a television show watching.
Man, that's what's up.
Yeah, like during the day, I've been doing on the Roku app on my television. I've been watching live. It's not really live episodes. Well, it's live because you can't pause it, but it's reruns of the Great British Baking Show, or Bake Off. Like it's old episodes, and they do like all the episodes of the celebrity versions and stuff like that. It's like it's running in the background. Really have been. it's nothing really to watch, man. But like I did watch The Bear a little bit, like season 3, episodes 1 and 2, and I seen some movie with Zac Efron and what's the lady to do the theme before the movie? Like you'll get lost in the movie.
Nicole Kidman. I heard
Yeah,
about that. That on Netflix. That joint.
yeah. I don't know why I watched that shit.
Fair.
It was I didn't like it that much. And then of course, like I've been to the movies. I've seen Despicable Me 4. I've seen Inside Out 2 and Bad Boys 4. Um, fell asleep through all of them. No, I don't think I fell asleep during Bad Boys 4, which is a really good movie. It was pretty damn good. But the other movies really weren't for me; they were for the boys.
Yeah.
So, but that was really about it. Really haven't been doing much. It's been a struggle finding some new stuff to watch.
It's just that time of the year. You know what I'm saying? That in betwixt time. You know what I'm saying? I want to watch The Bear at the same time. I kind of like. Well, I like to finish up Social Chef and then get into the new episodes, but we have just not even attempted to record an episode, so I don't even know what's going on with that. So I can't call it on that one. And but here we go. We've wrapped up Crimson 68, so maybe I'll have more time and I can make that occur. But we shall see. If I'm just gonna start The Bear after I finish up, get caught up on House of the Dragon, because Max raised his price and we was like, I don't know if we keeping that. So so that one's time might be up sooner than later. So that's what's calculating in that regard. Did you listening like any podcasts, any books, anything?
Oh, I did listen to the new. I'm listening to the new season of Newcomers.
Okay.
I'm listening to a book. It's a group of black horror short stories called Out There Screaming. Well, it's like multiple authors in that book. So I haven't really listened to it because I ain't about to be listening to no scary shit at night while I'm about to sleep. And me and my usual run of podcast. Not that serious. The Black Guy Who Tips. Of course, I listen to you guys on Cadillac on Mars. So this the normal stuff, but like I don't know what the fuck my time been getting ate up at, but I had no new shows. I really haven't been playing many video games or nothing like that.
Okay. Well,
I guess I'm cussing again. I don't cuss quite a few times on here. Because I was doing pretty good. I do pretty good doing my normal life, not cussing.
I'm sorry we bring it out of you, man. It's not intentional, sir. I promise.
It's okay.
But that's what's up. That is the show. As we get started to get down. Housekeeping, as you know what it is. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share wherever possible. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a follow over on Instagram if you want to support the show financially and got a few bucks starts away. Consider joining us over on Patreon, where at some point I'll put some stuff up for my patrons because I hadn't been doing it, and that's really sucky of me. And I'm sorry, my patrons. And I'll get that. I'm going to try my best to get that together here over the next few days. We also got merch over tpublic.com/user/StageScript. I know that really wasn't like a hard sell of the old Patreon there, was it? But I promise you, we make it worth your while. It's a good time to be had there. We like I said, we've been recording so hard and so much that it's been difficult for me to make the time to get the other portion of this stuff done. But like I said, we just wrapped up KP, and so that actually will give us a little more time. And we should be able to get everything back in some sort of order. Feel free to give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We would certainly love to hear from you. And I guess technically hear from you. We have the homie hit us up on the Twitters. You go clack that bad word. I just told you Delvin hit us up and talked about the episode. Where you at? Notifications. Of course, Nobel laureate Dr. Moxford A. Levitsky Esquire
Hmm.
on Twitter. SKiM Pod, love hearing the enthusiasm and happiness in Lunchbox's voice when he talks about MTG. Tayrell has me learning all things cannabis. And Chaffee was a great guest, but gotta fix that audio before his next visit. And he gave us a ha. And my man Sleeper hit us up, but he didn't hit the show feed. He just hit up basically us. And he said, "Great episode this week. First time I heard Chaffee, which is just like, how is that possible? Chaffee's been on the show so many times, but I mean, hey, just it is what it is." On SKiM, and he's a fun addition. I must request that Titty Talk become a regular segment, which I kind of forgot was a thing, but I'm sorry, we just didn't work it out. But I just wanted to be T asking anybody seen some titties lately, and everybody just gets sad and says no.
Yeah. I mean, I seen the normal ones that I see every day, but it's been a coon's age since I seen a real life boob.
Factual statement. I don't think I've seen real titties in outside again the everyday titties that are present in my life. So
I mean, I don't really miss it because a lot of drama comes along. It's so much drama in the titties. Like, yeah, I haven't seen it, and I'm pretty glad. I don't know. I don't miss that old life where it's just like searching high and low, and then it's like, oh, you know what? These don't taste the way they should. It's always something that goes along with.
hey, tis what it is. If you come across some titties between now and next time, you give me a heads up and let me know.
You remember in Chappelle's show the skit where it was the mad real world, and the white dude in the apartment had his girlfriend comment, and then she ended up hooking up with the other dudes.
Lysol.
Somehow, the woman who played that character ended up in my Instagram feed just now.
Oh.
And she posted the clip. She says, 20 years ago, I filmed an episode of Chappelle's Show for Comedy Central and had no idea what a cult following it would become. Beyond thankful to have worked with one of the greatest comedians ever, Dave Chappelle. Thanks for the post, some like it fun, and for the find, Ian Gall 24. So that I went into the comments, and the very top comment is, did you end your relationship with Lysol? And then I was like reading through a couple of the replies to that, and then someone replied to that person and said, nah, they stayed together and made a few little Lysol wipes.
Oh, that's funny.
Shit. That is fantastic. See, people, this kind of the love that you could get if you kick with us on this here program. Yeah, I think we've all met everything. Oh, like I said, last episode of, by the time you hear this episode, will have been out already. Last episode of this breakdown of the Great American Baking Show by us will have been released. We got one more baker to talk before we said adieu to that season. We got to talk to RJ, who is, if you watched the Great American Baking Show this season at all, he's the former Air Force buff guy and heck of a baker, and he made it to the finals. And he was even as I listen to it as I edit it right now, he was a very, very fun conversation, and I just felt, I don't know, I felt super comfortable talking to him. Not like I felt uncomfortable with everybody. Only one I felt uncomfortable about was Mackenzie, and it's lightweight because she's like the winner, and of course she's cute, and I might would have a crush on her, so that's a thing. And you know what I'm saying, so that's a bit what that was.
Since we don't really have much crossover, it's funny because like before, because we didn't do it this year. Our first episode of every season of Creme Patissier, we pick our booze, and we didn't do it this year.
Yeah.
And I was gonna be like, I'm glad I didn't say it because we had her on the show. I was gonna be like, Victoria was my crush this season, but then we never said it, and then like a couple episodes go by, we have her on the show, and I can't say it now. So that was pretty funny because like that we do that every year at the beginning for every because when we did the British version or the original version of the show, I remember like right off the bat, I'm like, I know who Teasboo is this year, and I was right. So it's funny we didn't do that, and then we luckily we didn't because I don't know how professional that would have been. Us talking to everybody, and then it's like, oh, I heard you that you was not Abu this year. So I'm glad we didn't do it.
Hey, I want y'all to know, and I think it's pretty special. And again, I'll shout him out on this one, even though I shouted him out on the other one. Shout out to my man Brad Gessner. 5 of the 8 bakers of this series of shows was on our show and we got the kid sit down and chop it up with them, and that's amazing. That's just dope. And like I said, I gotta holler at the dude at Netflix, which is more challenging than you think. Not as easy an email to pull, but I might actually have some plugs that I can hit up another direction, another way to be like, see if I can get around to that dude another way, and I will probably reach out to some people because I like having what we got from this go round, which is just access to things that making the show easier and more entertaining. And like I said, all the people who kicked it with us this go round, almost all of them, I was like, yo, y'all want to come back and talk Bake Off when Bake Off comes back here in the late summer going into the fall? And everybody was like, hell yeah, I'm down for that. So we will hopefully have a conversation with these people again. But like I said, I really enjoy talking to RJ. My kind of dude, you know what I'm saying? He's a gamer and a dork of and a baker, just like all of us. And so it's just super relaxing. It was just easy to talk to, easy vibes, and that's what's up. So that's how that's lovely. What you got better than that there? And I think we made one hell of I think this was one hell of a series this go around. We found ourselves. We did some tweaks. And to how we run the operation, I felt like that worked real well. And I'm like, arguing myself, do I finally want to make an IG for that show? And I'm like, I just don't. I just don't feel like fucking around with social media like that no more, man. It's just like I use the SKiM feed, and it will work or it won't work. And that's just what it is. So it's lovely. Hope you give it a listen. If you do, let us know what you think. If you have not before, and if you already are a listener, let us know that too. That'd be great to hear where the crossover exists. If you came here from there, you know what I'm saying? Which would be kind of a challenge because we do kind of talk about SKiM over there, but not really. But hey,
it's such a especially with guests on, and not even a guest, but like a different co-host with Nick. Like we try to get in and get out, and not waste anybody's time. Not that talking about SKiM is a waste of time. It's just like when you have a guest on, like they're stepping out of, first of all, they're stepping out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because like when we had guests, it's like, oh, this is my first time doing a podcast. So it's just that it's just more streamlined.
Yeah, and I think that works real well. So that's what's up, folk. Let's wrap it up. That is the 216 zone. Young Tatum.
Yes. Costco member
since we'll just throw a number in there. 1997.
Sure, I wish.
That's Lunchbox 2099. Sam's Club member since 2004.
It's been at least 2014.
See, take that and run with it. I am the internet's Table 713. Don't make me push you into traffic. We'll see you next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.